Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, Yesterday, US market again claim high. Dow hit new high, though Nasdaq was lower, not able to hit the high. Uh, but we are seeing that the good results in the US are taking market up. Around 85, 85 companies out of S&P 500 company have declared result till yesterday. And in that, over 85% of the company have reported result ahead of expectations. And that is taking the US market quite positively. US market is driven by more of a result. But apart from that, if you see future market of the US are more of a flattish, and Asian markets are marginal positive. Yesterday, we saw some disruption in China in various commodity, that is soft commodity like thermal coal, mentha oil, methanol, PVC and all. So the decline in the thermal coal prices over there still continue. Today also in one of the exchange, the thermal coal is at a lower circuit of around 10%. The prices, but thermal coal went up too high and now they are correcting. If you see the thermal coal prices internationally are at around $230 and all, but in China it went up to over $300 and now it is correcting. So nothing to read in that much. But apart from that, if you see methanol prices, which were yesterday also hitting lower circuit, yeah, it opened lower, but now they are stabilizing and bouncing from the lower level. Similar is the case with the other commodity like PVC and all. So the disruption which has happened yesterday and which has impacted a lot of companies in chemical and all yesterday are not likely to be, may see some stabilization today and not likely to continue in the coming today's day. Apart from that, the other commodities like aluminum was up by around is up by around 0.4% in China. Copper is up by around 1.6%. Iron ore is up by around 0.7%. Steel is down by around 0.5%. Whereas oil has already claimed back to 86, which came down to 84. Now it is back to 86. So oil continue to remain strong, and the gas prices which corrected in last few days are stabilizing and are showing some bounce back. One of the stock that is Hindustan Oil Exploration, which got impacted because of the decline in the oil prices, because of the decline in the gas prices in the international market. We feel that decline is a bit extraordinary, not required such a decline in the price of the Hindustan Oil Exploration, considering that their one of the well is starting in November, and which will likely to give very good earning and profitability. So any dip on this can be used to buy this stock. Now I'll request the technical team to take up from here.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Yesterday we see some selling pressure. Last two trading session we see some selling pressure in index and stock specific. Today we expect flattish open and remain a sideways, maybe volatile session we can see today. Nifty has important support at place around downside 18,200 and resistance place around 18,320 in upside. If Nifty break 18,320, then we expect Nifty again trading towards 18,400, 18,450 in upside. But if Nifty break 18,200 in intraday, then we see some more selling pressure towards Nifty drive towards 18,040, 18,100 at downside. So we can keep watch today's important level for Nifty. And upside 18,320 is an important resistance for intraday. If Nifty sustain this that today's trading session, then we expect Nifty trading within the range upside 18,400. Comparatively, Nifty, Bank Nifty looks positive. Take a strong support in Nifty future, Bank Nifty future at 39, 550, 500 at downside. If break that level, then we expect further pressure in Bank Nifty. But if Bank Nifty yesterday, we also saw that they're taking a support, that important support zone. And upside next immediate resistance for Bank Nifty is 40,000 and 40,270 in upper level. Do we expect positive side in Bank Nifty? Maybe outperforms Bank Nifty today. Do we expect positive momentum? But important support zone is 39,500. Below 39,500, you can exit your long position in Bank Nifty. Nifty Finance also trading near support zone, that is 18,800 and 18,770 at downside. Upside immediate resistance place around 18,900 is break that level today's session. Then we expect further momentum. Otherwise, is trading within the range in upper side. And downside 18,800 and 18,770 break. Then we see the further selling pressure. In today's session, ICICI, HDFC, and SBI, these three larger bank looks positive. ICICI trading near support zone, that is 740, 742 range. Do we expect in positive momentum? But if Nifty break, Bank Nifty break upper layer range, then we expect all three stock, HDFC, SBI, and ICICI, looks positive for intraday also and delivery purpose also. The upside 770, 790 is a strong target for ICICI. Downside 734, 738 is a strong support zone for ICICI. HDFC Bank also looks positive, and we see the positive momentum in last two trading session also. Upside buy above 1690 level. If HDFC break this level, then we expect short covering also in Bank Nifty and other banking stock also. So we closely watch this important level, that is 16,090. Is HDFC Bank break that level, then we expect the positive momentum in HDFC Bank. SBI also trade above 500 range, then we expect the positive momentum in SBI also. So we can keep watch these three stock for intraday purpose. But first half an hour we can wait for important breakout, and then we can take a position. That's it for technical. Derivative I can carry.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. Good morning, everyone. So as per yesterday's derivative data, we have seen major sell-off not only from the index specific but also from the stock specific front. As per OI positions from last three, as per coming 3-month expiry further, we are seeing that the 19,000 strike positions got shifted towards the 18,500 level. So resistance come nearer, as we are seeing that from 18,300, 18,400 and 18,500 strike. This strike have got major addition of correlator positions, and on the downside we are seeing, as per the OI position, 18,200 to 18,150 range is a supportive range in the market. Once if Nifty breaks 18,150 level on the downside, then we might expect a heavy sell-off pressure in the next coming trading session, also towards the 17,900 to 18,000 range. So currently the view for the Nifty would be range bound between 18,150 from upside towards 18,500 level. Once again, if a Nifty range gets stabilized or get crossed above 18,500 towards 18,800 or 19,000 mark, then we might witness again buying movement to get generated in the market. So currently the scenario is wait and watch scenario. Once Nifty comes towards the 18,200 level, then again get cautious in the market for the another round of selling pressure in the market. As we are seeing in today's trading session, the SGX is likely to open above 40 points. So we might expect in the first 1 to 2 hours, we expect some range bound session in the market. After that, the scenario is likely to take place and the trend is likely to catch in the market in the next trading session. As we are seeing that the India VIX yesterday closed at 18.31, and from last 3 to 4 days, we are consistently saying that once India VIX goes above 18 level, then we might witness some volatility and heavy volatility in the market. So in today's trading session, once if India VIX goes above 18.50 level, then that might be the trigger point and more cautious point in the market. So keep closely watch on India VIX also. If India VIX cools below 17.50 level, then again market will get settled with the base of 18,200 level. And PCROI also yesterday closed at 0.91. So PCROI has also got some space left on the downside towards 0.80 to 0.78 levels. And once PCRO again goes above 1.05 level and India VIX below 17.5 level, at that point of time, market is likely to get settled around. So currently, the situation is a bit cautious. So hold your long positions with the supportive levels. Thank you. That's it from the derivative front.
Good morning. L&T Finance result was okay. Loan book continued to decline. It was down about 2% quarter on quarter and 12% year on year. And degrowth was mainly because of infra loan book, which continues to decline. So that is still around 35% of the total loan. So we should not expect big growth in the near term. Collection efficiency improved to pre-COVID levels. Gross NPAs were flat quarter on quarter at 5.7%. Although restructured book has increased from 2.6 to 3.5%. Contingent provisions are at 2.2%. Overall, we are neutral on L&T Finance. Bandhan Financial Holdings may buy out Future Group stake in and acquire controlling interest in Future Generali Life Insurance, as per media reports. So, if this were to happen, this will be positive for Bandhan Bank. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Syngene announced their results late night, and the results were kind of below expectations. Though revenue grew by 17% YoY, the margins came down at 27% versus expectations of 30%. And the stock being trading at 43 times FY23 is not. So we expect some negative impact on today's trade and also on Biocon's also, because Syngene is a subsidiary of Biocon. Havells India announced their results, and results were marginally above expectations. The company saw good growth in sales at 31%. However, due to the high input prices, the margins have come down to 13.8% versus expectation of 14.6%. So this is a trend we are seeing in general consumer companies, that though the demand outlook is quite strong and companies are witnessing good growth in revenue, the margins are not able to maintain or improve because of the high input prices, which some companies have started passing on to the consumers, but this would take some lag effect, and probably we can see some benefit in coming quarter. Shoppers Stop announced their results, and results continue to improve. This is ahead of the expectations for this time also. The sales came at 640 versus expectation of 584, and margins have also improved at 11% versus expectation of 9%. We would get more details in today's con call. Jubilant Foodworks announced their results, and results were broadly in line with expectations. This result came during the market hours, and we have already seen the stock reaction because of this. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Just Dial has posted below expectation numbers for the quarter. Unearned revenue came at 334 crore versus QOQ of 307 crores. Revenue came at 156 crores versus expectation of 185 crores, and EBITDA margin came at 10.2% versus expectation of 17.5%. Share is trading at 22.6 times FY23 EPS. Hathway Cable has posted decline set of numbers for the quarter. Share is trading at 20.5 times TTM EPS. Other than this, in Mindtree, Dayapatra Nevatia has resigned as Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer, and he will be relieved from his duties from 3rd January 2022. This is sentimentally negative. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Tata Steel Long Products result has declined. Volume came at 0.31 million ton versus 0.34 million ton quarter on quarter. Realization came at rupees 53,335 per ton versus quarter on quarter of 49,491 per ton. EBITDA per ton has declined sharply from 15,255 to 7,874 per ton sequentially. EBITDA margin has also declined substantially from 31% to 15% quarter on quarter. Heidelberg Cement had its con call yesterday, and the management has indicated demand to be robust, mainly driven by the UP elections in 22, which will accelerate infra projects in the near term. Input costs have increased significantly, and a major impact of the current high input cost is likely to be felt in the second half of FY22. The sharp increase in international and domestic fuel prices and non-availability of coal may also reduce fly ash availability, which will have a major impact on the company going forward, with the company being a 100% blended player. We believe that it will have to source raw materials from farther distance, leading to higher inward freight costs and pressure, and there will be pressure on margins. The management has guided a cost inflation of rupees 400 per ton for the next quarter. The company has taken multiple hikes in the month of October, and further hike is expected in coming days as the cost increases. Given the price increase, the management has guided EBITDA per ton to be higher in the next quarter by rupees 250 to 300 per ton if the input cost remains at current levels. And the management has also guided capex of rupees 55 to 60 crores for FY22. We are neutral on this company. Thank you.
Yeah, result for next Monday. CEAT is likely to report numbers. We had seen last 3-4 quarters their margins consistently declining because of the increasing cost. This quarter we may see reversal of that, and there will be some stabilization and bounce back of the margins in this quarter. And revenue is also likely to increase by around 12% year on year. So overall result is likely to show sign of improvement from consistent decline in last 1 year. Then Colgate-Palmolive is likely to report numbers, and numbers are likely to be more of an okay. Revenue growth is seen at around 6% year on year, which is very comparatively lower. And margins are likely to remain stable both year on year and quarter on quarter. Then CSB Bank is likely to report number. We had a bank has already given their update about the loan growth and all. And we had seen that the gold loan quarter on quarter has declined for CSB Bank. So that negative part has already been factored in. Need to see how the asset quality move in the this result. Then apart from that, Dwarikesh Sugar is likely to report numbers. We had seen one of the company reporting sugar result, that is DCM Shriram Industries, and the results were not so encouraging. As such, Dwarikesh Sugar result is also likely to be more of a subdued. And most of the sugar companies' results will be more of a subdued. In fact, Q2 is generally a soft quarter for sugar industries as mill get closed and prices realize, and the extra earning of ethanol and the power doesn't come in this, whereas the extra expenses of closed factory comes into this quarter. So generally a Q2 is a soft quarter for all the sugar companies. Then GMDC, that is Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation, likely to report numbers. Generally, Q2 is a rainy season and productions are less. Whereas management has indicated that they are taking price increase and they can be one of the beneficiary of higher coal prices internationally, as they manufacture lignite or they mine lignite and supply it to the cement and other companies, other power plant companies. So company is likely to benefit from the higher prices of the lignite, which they may sell to all the companies. And the major benefit will be visible in the third quarter when the volume will also come back. Then HDFC AMC is likely to report numbers, and numbers are likely to show improvement. Year-on-year revenue growth is at around 27%, and EBITDA margin is also likely to show some improvement both quarter-on-quarter and year-on-year. And EBITDA is likely to increase by 30%. So HDFC AMC result is likely to be good. Then Indus Tower is likely to report number, and numbers are likely to be more of a flattish, no such marginal growth of 1% and all. So nothing so exciting in that. Then Kansai Nerolac is likely to report number. Margins are likely to remain lower because of the increase in the cost and year-on-year margin will decline, though sales growth is likely at around 15%. And then Prakash Industries, that is a steel company, is likely to report number, and the numbers are likely to show declining trend. Quick Heal Technology is likely to report numbers. Generally, Q2 is comparatively a better quarter for Quick Heal Technology, so expect to report a better number. Ramco Cement is again likely to report number. Here, like other cement company, we may see decline of EBITDA per ton quarter-on-quarter by around 300 rupees, 270 to 300 rupees, which will be a bit higher than the other player. Volume is also likely to show some growth in this quarter. SRF is likely to report numbers, and numbers are likely to show improvement. Revenues is likely to increase by around 30% year-on-year, and margin is also likely to show some improvement quarter-on-quarter. Then Coforge is likely to report numbers are expected to show improvement as revenue is likely to grow by around 6.2% quarter-on-quarter in dollar terms. And though it will have some marginal gain on account of some acquisitions, but apart from that also the revenue is likely to show strength. And margin, which was lower in last quarter on account of higher wages and all, is likely to come back to normal level of around 17% for this quarter. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.